Have you ever stopped and wondered how a truly massive global company, with hundreds of factories and thousands of employees, actually keeps track of everything? I mean, how on earth do they make sure the right parts get to the right place at the right time every single day? Okay, let's get into this because the answer is pretty fascinating.
Right. How do you stop it all from descending into total chaos? Well, the solution is kind of wild. You build a perfect digital copy of your entire company, a virtual world that mirrors the real one exactly.
And that's really what we're talking about today, this idea of creating a business's digital twin. It's the core concept behind these incredibly powerful systems like SAP. You're not just putting tasks on a computer, you are literally replicating your entire operational reality, just so you can manage the sheer complexity of it all. And the goal here is, well, it's incredibly ambitious. Every factory, every warehouse, every sales office, every single process, it all has to be perfectly represented in the system. This digital mirror, it becomes the one single source of truth for absolutely everything, from buying raw materials to paying your employees and selling the final product. So if you're going to build a digital twin of your company, where do you even start? Well, just like building a house, you start with the blueprint. And in the world of these big business systems, that blueprint is called the enterprise structure. So what is this enterprise structure really? Think of it just like that, the architectural plan for your digital company. It doesn't have people or products in it yet. Instead, it defines the layout, both the physical and the logical parts, the buildings, the departments, the legal entities. Basically, it answers the two big questions. Where does the work happen, and how is it all organized? And this blueprint, it gets really specific. We're talking digital versions of your actual physical locations. That factory in Texas, the warehouse over in Germany. It also maps out your key processes, like how you sell things or how you buy things, giving you the entire framework that managers use to see what's actually going on and, make decisions. Okay, so we have our blueprint, our structure. But a blueprint is just, well, it's just a drawing, right? You can't actually do anything with it until you have your building materials. And that brings us to the next crucial piece of the puzzle, master data. So you've got this amazing structure all mapped out, but what are the actual things that are going to move through it? What do you fill it with? The answer is our next big concept, master data. To put it simply, master data is the official list of all the essential nouns in your business. It's the one definitive record for your products, your suppliers, and your customers. And unlike a daily transaction, this info doesn't change very often. It's that stable, core data you use over and over and over again. This really breaks down into three key types. First, you've got your material records. That defines every single item you make or sell, from a tiny little screw to a finished car. Then you've got vendor records for every single company you buy from, and of course, customer records for everyone you sell to. Okay, let's put these two ideas side by side, because this is the key to understanding all of it. The enterprise structure, that's the stable framework. It's the where and the how. It's your map. The master data, that's the core stuff that moves within that framework. It's the who and the what. It's the people and the things you put on the map. One is the stage, and the other is the actors. All right, so we've got our blueprint and we've got our ingredients. Now for the fun part. Let's see how they actually come together to make the business run. This is where that digital twin really comes to life. So check out this simple flow. To buy parts, that's procurement. The system needs to know who you're buying from. That's your vendor record, which is your data. And where those parts need to go, that's your factory, defined in the structure. Then to make something, you need the material record for the product, data again, and the factory location, structure. To sell it, you need the customer record, data, and the sales office, structure. See, every single transaction is a combination of master data and enterprise structure. And this brings us to a really, really critical point. For this whole digital twin idea to be useful, it can't just be a close guess of your business. It has to be a perfect one-to-one replica. Accuracy is everything. I mean, just think about it. If you have a warehouse in the system that you shut down a year ago, or a vendor record with the wrong address, the whole thing just breaks down. You'll try to ship goods to a warehouse that doesn't exist, invoices will go to the wrong place, transactions fail, and it becomes impossible to manage anything because you're making decisions based on totally bogus information. And this right here is the core takeaway. This isn't just some technical thing for the IT department. It's a fundamental principle of modern business. The digital world must match the physical reality. No exceptions. At the end of the day, every single order, every shipment, every invoice, every action your company takes, it all relies on this one foundation being solid. Without an accurate structure and reliable data, you don't have a digital twin. You just have digital chaos. So I'll leave you with a final thought to chew on. If you think about every transaction as a single brick being laid to build your company, what's the mortar holding all of those bricks together? Could it be that clean, consistent master data, making sure every single brick fits perfectly into the blueprint you've designed? Something to think about.